Hello everyone and thank you for joining again. Today's episode is about birthday in Japan because today it's my birthday. Yay! 今日は私の誕生日です。今日は私の誕生日です。今日 means today. 私 is I. 誕生日 birthday. And what do you say? How do you say happy birthday in Japanese? お誕生日おめでとうございます。お誕生日おめでとうございます。So 誕生日 we say already that's the birthday. おめでとう basically means celebration or like greetings, something which is auspicious. And ございます is basically the more polite form of this, to be. And the お in front of 誕生日 makes the word or the whole sentence more polite. So there are basically two ways of making a word more polite. Either is お in front or ご. It depends on the way of how the kanji are pronounced. So in case the onyomi, so the on reading is used, in case you don't know about on and kunyomi, please take a look or please listen to the previous episode. I've been talking about that before. So if you use the onyomi to the Chinese way of pronunciation, then usually you use go in front. For example, 両親. 両親 means parents. And parents, 両親 are both the Chinese pronunciation. So in order to make parents sound more polite, you say ご両親. You do this only for somebody else's parents, not for yourself, not for your own parents. For your own parents, you just say 両親. If you are referring to somebody else's parents, then you're gonna say ご両親. For example, 友達のご両親, the parents of my friend. Yeah. So actually it's kind of funny because 誕生日, tan and jo are the Chinese pronunciation, but b is the Japanese pronunciation. So, as I said, usually the go is used for Chinese pronunciation and o for the Japanese. For example, omizu. Mizu means water, and if you put the o in front, it sounds more polite. So if I say it sounds more polite, you should use polite language in the case you talk with somebody with whom, well, of course you should be more polite. Like, for example, if you are a shop assistant and you talk to a customer, or you talk to your boss, or your teacher or something like that. So a person that has a different role or is like is higher up in the ranking, maybe something like that. If that makes sense, then you should talk more polite. Actually, this is a real huge topic, and this is not something I wanted to discuss right now. Sorry. We go back to the birthday. お誕生日おめでとうございます. Happy birthday. So what do I usually wish to somebody if I were congratulating them for the birthday? I would be saying, of course, お誕生日おめでとうございます. And then I would say, 素敵な一日を過ごしてね. 素敵な一日を過ごしてね. 素敵 means not precious, but nice. Yeah. And 素敵 is actually not adjective, so you have the na afterwards. 素敵な. 一日 means like one day. 過ごして comes from 過ごす and pass, spend. So spend or have a nice day. 素敵な一日を過ごしてね. Also here, there will be several versions available depending on how polite you want to be. So if I talk with a friend and if I give birthday wishes to a friend, then I would use this version here. If I were saying like happy birthday to the boss or somebody, I would be using a slightly different version. I would say 素敵な一日をお過ごしください. Sounds a little different, right? 過ごしてね or お過ごしください. I put an extra o for the 過ごし, and instead of 過ごしてね, I say お過ごしください. It's a really polite way of saying that. That's actually, yeah. Well, I'm going back again to this polite level of politeness, and this is really really difficult part of the Japanese. I mean, it's not that difficult. It's like learning additional vocabulary, because this is vocabulary that is not usually used in normal conversations with your friends. So it's just, memorizing lots of new vocabulary which you might not have heard before, because, yeah. Maybe you have heard it before if you were in a shop in Japan and you bought something. Of course, then you're the customer, and the person selling something to you, of course, needs to be polite. I heard that actually that there's some people in Japan, if they have foreign customers, that they tend to not use the polite language, and the excuse is that they think that the foreigners don't understand the Japanese, so they try to use less polite language. And actually, I don't. I mean, it depends, of course. If the person really has no idea about Japanese, then it doesn't really matter how polite they speak, so they should be using the polite language anyway. But of course, if you have some knowledge about the Japanese language, and then you're there and then like, I learned some, I've been learning for maybe 1 year actually, and I don't really understand what the person is saying to me. Well, that's the problem with the polite language in Japanese language. Politeness in the Japanese language. Sorry. All right. And then I usually also say 素敵な一年になりますように. So if we can have the 素敵, so nice. 素敵な一年. So before we had 一日 is like 1 day. 一年 refers to 1 year. になりますように. なります means to become. ように in order to. So in order, or it's like a wish. So I wish for you that it becomes, that it gets a nice year for the next year of your life should be a nice one. And because I like cakes, I usually add the sentence 美味しいケーキをたくさん食べてね. 美味しい means delicious. Keiki is of course the cake. たくさん means a lot. It's kind of funny because the kanji for mountain is inside. So like it's like, a lot, like, as much as there are, as like a huge mountain. Eat amount of mountain for a cake. Right. So, yeah. 美味しいケーキをたくさん食べてね. And the birthday cake is then called 誕生日ケーキ. So the combination of 誕生日 and ケーキ. Sometimes you will also be hearing this version, birthday cake. So it comes from the English, birthday, birthday cake. It's kind of funny actually, that's also the reason why Japanese people are not really good at speaking English, because they try to come up with the pronunciation, and then that's what you also see in Japanese English textbooks. So if Japanese people learn English at school, they have a textbook and the pronunciation is written there in katakana. And the katakana has, the Japanese language has much less ways of pronouncing something. So they try to come up or to try to find suitable syllables which sound similar to the original pronunciation. But of course, that doesn't really work if you have 300 or 400 possible syllables or possible pronunciations, and you have only 50 or 60 ways of pronouncing something in Japanese. It will never fit, right? So it's just makes it a little more complicated, and it might sound kind of strange, and it might sound a little funny, and yeah, it is funny. Birthday cake. Right. It's your birthday. So what happened actually, you were born, and to be born in Japanese means 生まれる. And the kanji, so the 生まれる has basically the first the u is the kanji for to be born, and that's the same kanji as in 誕生日, the jo. So you have u, the Japanese pronunciation, jo for Chinese, and actually we have another one, and that's sei. You might have heard the word sensei, so teacher. So teacher actually means somebody who is born before born earlier. The sen means before, earlier. And that's what a teacher is usually. He's born before, born earlier, which means he's older. And the Japanese society is all about age and somebody who is in higher ranks of social. He has a higher social level. And the teacher, because he's born earlier and he has more experience, is such kind of a person. So yeah, that's why you call him sensei. So se and u from umu and jo from tanjobi. And there are other actually several. This is one kanji which has a lot of possibilities to be pronounced. But let's just leave it like this, because we talk about the birthday and not about anything else. All right. If I want to say I was born in June, because I was born in June because it's still June here. 6月。6月に生まれました。6月 means June. Yeah, and 生まれました is the past tense of 生まれる、生まれます。And it's the polite way of saying it. 6月に生まれました。The に basically is the particle for time. 6月に生まれました。I was born in June. And of course, having birthday means that you got older. To get older in Japanese means 年を取る. Toshi means age or also year, and toru means take. So you could say you take 1 year of your lifespan, right? So, you live 1 year less. Then the question about the age. How do you ask for somebody's age? There are basically two versions. Well, let's say like a version which you can use for friends and a really polite one, because we're in Japan, it's Japanese, and it's everything about politeness. So the normal version would be 何歳ですか? 何歳ですか? Nan means what, sai means age or years old. And this ka is just a question. A ka is the question particle, and this is to be. If you want to sound more polite, you should say おいくつですか? おいくつですか? I remember, I think there was, when I was studying in Japan at university as an exchange student, and I was invited for a photo shooting in Asakusa. There was like, Asakusa is a part in Tokyo which it has a famous, it's like, there is a really famous temple, and it's not far, and the entrance of the temple grounds is really famous because there is a really huge gate, and it's called Kaminarimon, because the god of thunder, Kaminari, is enshrined there. And it's not far away from the place where lots of sumo ringers, sumo fighters are living there. So you could be lucky and actually see some of them there. And so what I wanted to say, so I was invited for this photo shooting, and I'm not sure how many foreigners they had there before, and then it was kind of strange, and then the person was starting to touch my hair, and like, you have so thin hair, you like a doll, and I'm like, okay, and then she proceeded to ask me several questions, also including my age, and at the time, my Japanese was not that good yet. And then she asked me like, oikutsu desu ka? And I was like, what is she talking about? I don't understand. And then the friend who was there with me, and she's like, she's asking about your age. And nansai desu ka? And I see. I've been studying at that time already for like 2 years, I think, and never had told me that there's a different version, different possibility to ask about the age, a more polite one. Yeah, that can happen. That's why I'm telling you this today, so that you're not going to have this kind of problem. So now the answer. How old are you? Let's start with I am 1. 1歳です. The I comes from ichi, from 1. Sai is years old. 1歳です. So why isn't it 1歳? What the problem is, chi. So basically all sounds with an I. So all syllables with an I. So basically, Japanese syllables are a combination of vowel and consonant, or actually consonant and vowel, so that's the other way around, or only vowel. And if there are two syllables, one after another, so where the first one ends with an E or with a U, and afterwards there is an unvoiced sound, so unvoiced means like K, S, T, H, then usually something happens there. Either we don't hear the E or the U, or sometimes, the syllable is completely omitted and it gets turned into small tsu. And the small tsu usually makes that the next syllable, that the consonant of the next syllable is pronounced more, stronger, like the double consonant. So instead of ichisai, it becomes issai. Unfortunately, yes, you have to memorize that. So 1歳です. 2 years old. 2歳です. 3 years old. 3歳です. 4 years old. 4歳です. 5 years old. 5歳です. 6 years old. 6歳. 7 years. 7歳. 8 years. 8歳. Sometimes you also hear 8歳. Because here again you have your chi and sa. So we have a syllable with an E and then an unvoiced sound. So 8歳. Actually, it's better to say 8歳. That's better. Then 9 years old. 9歳. 10 years old. 10歳. 10歳. We have a small tsu here actually. That's an exception. Please memorize that. And then basically you just continue 11歳, 12歳, 13歳, and so on forth. And there is an exception for 20 years old, because originally 20 years old was the age where you became an adult. Now it's 18 actually, and so 20 years old is pronounced hatachi, hatachi. So there's no sai because it's already included in this pronunciation. So hatachi, please memorize that. It's not 20歳 but hatachi. 30 years old would be then 30歳. And 40 years old, 40歳, and so on and so forth. So, Then the question, what do you do on your birthday? 誕生日に何をしますか? 誕生日に何をしますか? What do you do on your birthday? 誕生日, the birthday. 何, what? します, to do. Ka, question particle at the end. Well, please tell me, what are you doing on your birthday? Maybe you get a birthday cake, and maybe you blow out the candles. That would be in Japanese, ろうそくの火を息でふっと消します。ろうそく is the candle, 火 is the light, or like fire. 息, breath. ふっと is basically the sound you do when you when you just blow out the candle. 消します means to delete or to to delete or to blow out or whatever. It's just it vanishes. 消します means that you do something and then afterwards it's not there anymore. ろうそくの火を息で、息 is breath and de means with, so with breath, so by breathing. ふと消します。ろうそくの火を息でふと消します。The to is especially if you have a sound, and the fu is a sound, the sound you make when you blow out the candle, and then so to mark this sound you use to. Or maybe you're gonna have a party. パーティーをします。パーティーをします。You're gonna invite friends. 友達を誘います。友達を誘います。友達は friends. 誘います comes from 誘う, which means to invite somebody. And what I would definitely do, 友達と一緒に カラオケでアニメの歌を歌います。友達と一緒にカラオケでアニメの歌を歌います。友達は friends。友達と with friends。一緒に together。カラオケはカラオケ。アニメの歌。So 歌 is song. アニメの歌 like anime songs. And to sing is 歌います。歌います。歌を歌います to sing a song. So once more. 友達と一緒にカラオケでアニメの歌を歌います。Yes. Who will do who is there anybody who is going to do the same thing? Do you also like singing songs? So if you invite friends, so maybe you want to bake a cake, that would be ケーキを作ります or ケーキを焼きます。作ります means like to make, and 焼きます means to bake. 焼きます actually means like, could also mean like fry or barbecue, and it usually means there is heat, like you put it in the oven or on a grill, something like that. Or if you're too lazy, you're just gonna buy one. ケーキを買います。買います comes from 買う to buy. Maybe you wanna go for drinking. 飲みに行きます。飲みに行きます。So to drink means actually 飲みます or 飲む, and 飲みに行きます is like to go to drink. 飲み it comes from 飲みます, so you just remove the ます and then you add the に, which means like this is the goal. And 行きます to go. So you go and your goal is to drink. 飲みに行きます。Or you're gonna have a drinking party. 飲み会をします。会 means also like is the kanji for meeting. 飲み会 is like a drinking meeting. So you're just gonna have lots of alcohol, I guess. 飲み会をします。します is again to do a drinking party. Or you might order pizza. ピザを注文します。ピザを注文します。注文 means like to order, or 注文 is the noun for order. 注文します means to order. します to do, in combination with a noun makes a verb out of it. 注文します to order. Alright, I have one more thing on my topic for today, and that's the birthday song in Japanese. So in case you want to sing the birthday song in Japanese to somebody, now is your chance. So please listen. Let's see if I can do it. 嬉しいな今日は楽しいな今日は誕生日おめでとうお歌を歌いましょう So that's the song. So 嬉しいmeans like to be happy. 嬉しいな今日は So today I'm happy. 今日 means today. 楽しいな今日は楽しい means like it's fun. 誕生日おめでとう So happy birthday. お歌を歌いましょう Let's sing a song. Yay! 嬉しいな今日は楽しいな今日は誕生日おめでとうお歌を歌いましょう Yay! Alright, thank you for listening. Let's just go once more through the vocabulary we had today. So we had 今日 today 今日誕生日 birthday 誕生日おめでとう or 誕生日おめでとうございます Happy birthday 素敵 nice 一日 one day 素敵な一日 a nice day 過ごします to spend time 一年 one year なります to become おいしい delicious たくさん a lot to be born 生まれる Then we had the teacher 先生 To get older. 年を取る。年を取る。How old are you? For friends. 何歳ですか？何歳ですか？ Or to be somewhat polite. おいくつですか？おいくつですか？ And then the age. 1歳です。2歳です。3歳です。4歳です。5歳です。6歳です。7歳です。8歳です。9歳です。10歳です。11歳です。12歳です。13歳です。14歳です。15歳です。16歳です。17歳です。18歳です。19歳です。20歳です。For 20 years old. What else did I? ろうそく。ろうそく。candle. 火。fire. 息。breath. 消します。to delete. Or, yeah, make out. Make out. Did I say make out? That's something else. Friend. 友達。友達。invite. 誘う。or 誘います。一緒に。together. 一緒に。歌。song. 歌います。to sing. 作ります。to make. 焼きます。to bake. 買います。to buy. 飲み会。drinking party. 注文。order. 注文します。to order. 嬉しい。we had it in the song 嬉しいな今日は。what did I say? Happy? Yeah, I'm happy. 楽しい。That's fun. Yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Yeah, so in case you have birthday today, I wish you a wonderful birthday. お誕生日おめでとうございます。And also to me, お誕生日おめでとうございます。I had a nice day today. I had lunch with a friend, and yesterday I was having a drawing lesson, and also with a friend, and it was really nice. Thank you very much for spending time with me, and well, have a nice day. 素敵な一日を過ごしてね。じゃあまたね。Yours, Kara from Japanese with Kelly. See you soon, or hear you soon. Bye bye. またね。